Hey, everybody. This is Ron and Hope, Unfiltered, real, raw, and relevant. Ron just asked me like 2 seconds before the camera started, are we in a good mood today? Do what?
Baby, just be honest. Don't be offended. Be honest. Yesterday was...
Have I been in a good mood today?
Today you've been pretty good. Yesterday you was down and went to bed early. Down.
I wasn't down. I just had a long, hard day. I had a lot of things to tackle. Let's call it that.
Bad news. We had a lot of bad news yesterday.
I don't know if it was bad news. It was just
challenges.
Challenges, yes. And I was just like done with the day. You ever been done with the day?
But they don't think we have any challenges.
Oh, well, we do.
So we're ruining their view of us right now.
They have to know better.
Well,
we're human.
We've been kind of real, raw, and relevant with them about challenges too, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
No, today's a better day.
Yeah, it's a good day.
We plow through challenges just like anybody else. And I told you, even this morning we was riding in, I told you that the secret to that thing is you don't rise and fall with them.
Right. You just stay steady.
Yeah, you got to stay steady. It's hard to do because emotionally people are built differently. You know, personality profiles are different. But one thing I've always tried to do, you could probably say if I've done it good or not. I've had some lives that had some big, big highs, and I've had some lives that took me lower than I ever thought I would go.
Some lives?
Some life experiences.
Oh.
And I tried not to move with it. Tried to kind of stay in the middle.
Sometimes you just want to break things.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say I did what I wanted to do. I said what I did.
Yeah.
And you don't always do what
Sometimes you just want to cry. You ever just wanted to have a good old cry?
Yeah, my baby girl called me and did that this morning.
Yeah.
I just felt like she was about 12 again and I was daddy. She was having a bad day and she didn't feel good. And I said, you just want to have a good cry. So I let her cry a minute. Then what do? Try to help pull them out of it.
Yeah.
That's what we do. But anyway.
Did you get a haircut?
I did. I made them cut it shorter. I've been doing flybacks. I'm tired of flybacks.
That's the 80s.
No, it's actually late 70s.
Oh.
And it went into the 80s. But when I met you, I was doing flybacks with a mullet and you started putting gel in my hair. Do you remember that?
I did.
You made me come out of my dorm and you had a handful of gel and you said, come here. And from that moment on, I've went about the next 20 years with gel in my hair.
But it looks shorter. I like it today. Looks good. Turn around.
Did you like it yesterday?
Yeah, turn. Let me see. Yeah, it looks good, Wayne.
It's spiky like my younger years.
Does
it make me look 35?
Do you think you look
I looked at my barber. I said, you took 5 years off of me.
That's awesome.
5 years.
Every year matters.
45
right?
now instead of 50.
Oh my word. That's a...
And you're getting close to 60.
You told a story.
No,
I'm not.
60. David, January, what,
57. Your age.
God.
You are 57 now.
57.
Yeah. I feel good, though. I feel good.
That bathing suit I bought you in Lake Tahoe was for a 57-year-old.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go. Let's start talking about what we're going to talk about.
It was on sale.
We are talking about something different than a bathing suit in 57.
Come to the marriage conference and we'll tell you about the 3 bathing suit drawers. I can't tell them right now, but we have 3 bathing suit drawers with 3 specific purposes, but I won't go now.
Don't.
So we have a marriage conference when? February in San Jose.
We got we'll put it up right here so you can see it. Go to roncarpenter.com/events to register. We can only take how many couples? About 400 couples?
About 400 couples, yeah.
Yeah, and so I think we're inching up there.
380.
About halfway. So get registered. It's in Monterey, California.
We go back and forth.
There's so much fun. And
they're a lot of fun.
We've had people come to these marriage conferences with divorce papers.
Yep.
And say, if God don't do something, this marriage is over.
And I had our CFO and his wife, Greg, told me, did he say he'd been to 22 of them?
Yep, 22.
That's been like all of them.
It's a lot.
So anyway, we got to quit being funny. We got to go on that. We got a great topic we want to talk about.
Yes.
Guys, I want to give credit where credit's due.
You found this the other day,
I don't follow
and we
them.
talked about it.
I still don't know how. I need to talk to my social media director, Nia. I don't know how all this happens. I don't know algorithms. I don't know if people pay for ads. I don't know about all that stuff. I really don't. I just try to give them content. Then after that, it's up to them because I don't know what I'm doing. So I don't know how things get on my feed without me following them. So either they're paying to get it on there, or
Yep.
or I follow it anyway. But
Or it's like
the
something you've already
The
followed.
Institute of Child Psychology, I saw something. That is not something that would normally interest me. But the first few lines when I read them caught my attention. So this is the Instagram page, the Institute of Child Psychology. I have no idea whether there's any Christian background to this or not. But the topic caught my attention. I'm like, that's something hoping I need to talk about, because we've talked about it a lot privately, but I don't think we've ever broached the topic here. And so they talk about 10 things your child, you should not share with your child. So most of our audience, you may not have children, but you're at childbearing ages, according to our data. And so I thought this would be something good to talk about. So I wanted to give them credit if you want to check them out. But they gave me the idea, but we want to share our thoughts.
Talk about it.
These are our thoughts on some of the things that they said, that I would be in disagreement with some of them. Some of them I totally agree with.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you wish that you had been a better parent?
Oh, no doubt. But here's the thing. I've told you, Hope, we've had some very, very depressing discussions about this. Our kids went through things that number one, I never would have dreamed they'd have gone through. And number two, it's painful to me. But the energy I put into being a father, just because you have great energy and great intentions still don't mean you're going to get the proper outcomes.
Right. Well.
And I think that's where, if I can finish it, I think that's where I feel a little bit, what the heck happened? Because, sometimes, your kids you may be great parents and your kids do things that make them look like that they have no parents. They make decisions. You're like, where did that come from? So I look back on some things that, children say bothered them, hurt them, or could have done better. And we've had those talks because we all went to family counseling at one time. Those were brutal sessions.
But I look back on it, I know there's tons of things I could have done better.
Gaps.
Yes, absolutely. And I hate that because you see what it produced or didn't produce in your kids. But at the end of the day, we were talking about this on our drive-in today. That is why we have Jesus.
He's a redeemer.
He is our redeemer. He takes our stories and redeems it.
If there's nothing that went bad, there's nothing to redeem.
Right. He takes our brokenness and redeems it. That's why he's so good. And
our family's in a wonderful place.
Right.
And I love being with my family. But I gave great attention to being a father. Did I do it all right? Evidently not. So I don't think anybody should ask me to come to a child rearing class. But I do know that, I looked at how I was raised. I looked at the demand on my mom and dad and maybe some of the deficiencies that caused. And I remember I went into mine, like, I really want to try to shore things up in this area. And so, all the devotions and all the practices and all the recitals, we were there. We were there. We didn't miss them. But there was some other things I'd have done totally differently. And maybe we'll talk about some of them as we go on here. But here's one thing, some things we did right, some things we did wrong. Arguing. I'll let you speak on your mom and dad's behalf. I'll tell you what I think, but I'll let you speak. My mom and dad didn't let me see anything. What did that create in me? I think it made me naive.
You thought you had just fairy tale parents who didn't argue.
We just didn't, Hope. I don't know what, my dad's not with us anymore, so I can't ask him.
Because parents argue because they're humans.
I never saw that. I just didn't. My house was not a loud house. My house was not an argumentative house. My house was, if anything, my house was quiet because it was absent, because my mama, was worked daytime jobs and nighttime jobs as a cashier and come home at 10 o'clock at night. And Ron, my dad was a one-man gang, and Ron, there's a note, there's some sandwich stuff in the refrigerator. that was my norm. We just understood we're in ministry, we're all in this together. But my home was peaceful, and I never saw conflict. So in my mind, the first few times you and I started experiencing it, it was
shocking.
It was
to
rough to me because it messed with me bad. It troubled me, and still does, even to this day. If I can't make things right with you, it messes with me bad. But, you kind of...
I came from a house where you
right.
sling, holler, cuss,
do what you got to do to survive.
Everybody's fussing, everybody's loud.
Nobody hollering.
Tried to hide anything from the kids. It was just tension all the time.
So we came from opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So I think, what did you learn from me? You learned how to probably handle things differently. What did I learn from you? Never disagreeing is not real.
Right. That's not real.
And I remember some of the talks we had, you're like, Ron, we're not bad people. But that's just not reality. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it to ever happen. I didn't like us to have disagreements about everything. And I'm not a loud person. I'm not a fusser and a fighter, and I can't stand it. And one of the things you would always hate is that I always wanted to fix it. And some things, I guess, can't be fixed right then. You got to go take a walk. You got to go sit down. You got to blow off steam.
Well, back in the day, your fixing was I was going to come to your side.
Maybe. But nevertheless, not let the sun go down on your wrath. I took that seriously because what happens is an argument gets to germinate.
Right. And it starts
to germinate. When you let it have time, it has time to get down there and begin to grow a root system. And then you've got a long-term problem instead of a temporary emotion that needs to be fixed. So how much do you let your kids see? I think it is healthy. You don't want your kids to be naive. That's not good child rearing. I think you want your kids to see disagreements. I don't think you want them to see emotional outbursts.
Yeah, explosions.
Does that make sense?
Screaming, yelling, throwing.
So my children seeing their mother and father work through a problem.
That's healthy.
I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
We disagreed. Okay.
We show our children how to resolve conflict.
But the cussing and screaming and door slamming.
Right.
I think in a way that can traumatize kids.
Yeah, it does. They can't process it. And it makes them feel unsafe.
How did it make you feel?
Made me feel unsafe.
You said your house was like that.
Yeah, I didn't know at any time, is mom going to pack up and leave? Is dad going to leave? Or somebody going to get hurt? I just didn't know. And it makes a child feel so unsafe. And that's one of the emotional needs of a child is safety.
Safety.
Yeah.
Can I throw something in there?
You can wait till we get through with our Green Chef ad.
We already at our ad time?
Yes.
We get to talk about food?
Yes, some of our favorite things.
Let's do it.
And one of our other favorite things is summer. And something about it just makes you feel your best. So what better time to create healthy meal habits that last? What better time to get Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for clean eating? Green Chef makes it easy to spend less time in the kitchen and more time enjoying the things you love. And with their new Heat and Eat meals, enjoy a delicious, wholesome meal in 3 minutes. That still blows my mind. Perfect for supporting your wellness journey. Green Chef's recipes feature fresh, organic, seasonal produce and 100% responsibly sourced proteins to help you feel your best. Green Chef's real, clean ingredients help you build lasting, healthy habits without hassle. Enjoy salads ready in 5 minutes, protein-filled breakfast, or nutrient-rich smoothies to fuel your day. Green Chef is ready to nurture your nutritional needs. With 80-plus dietitian-approved weekly meal options, Green Chef makes it easy to find meals that fit your lifestyle. Pick from Mediterranean, gluten-free. What's a gluten? I don't know, plant-based and protein-heavy, even gut and brain health, and calorie-smart choices, too. The recipes change every week, and with week-to-week flexibility, you can adjust your plan to match your mood and your schedule. We love Green Chef. It is so easy. It's
I've
convenient.
probably been eating brain food my whole life and didn't know it.
Really?
Yes.
Because you're so smart? Well, we hadn't been eating Green Chef our whole life. We have been for the last year, and it is yummy. I made their chimichurri chicken with roasted vegetables and garlic mashed cauliflower. It's so good. I didn't even miss the carbs. The ingredients come pre-measured and super fresh, and it only took me about 25 minutes to make. So make this summer your healthiest yet with Green Chef. Head to greenchef.com/50 Ron and Hope and use code 50 Ron and Hope to get 50% off your first month, then 20% off for 2 months with free shipping. That's code 50 Ron and Hope at greenchef.com/50 Ron and Hope.
Go check these guys out, y'all. Go check these guys out because these are people that partner with us to help us keep doing this for free. This was not behind a paywall. This was not, any type of fee. This was not a reoccurring thing that you got to pay. It's free to everybody. And wonderful, wonderful companies like this partner with us to help us do it. So check them out.
Let me say something else about the exploding and the screaming and the fighting. We can say don't do it, but if every parent listening would be honest, we could all say we've done it. Or at least one parent has done it here and there, or even to the child, not necessarily between the husband and wife, but screaming and yelling at the child.
I was talking in particular about what parents shouldn't let kids see, but yeah, you're right.
Yes, it's true. So when that happens, what do? Do you just be like, oh, I did it again? No, you have to go to the child and acknowledge it. That's what plucks it up out of their heart. You go and say, I know that was scary to you, because it's very scary to a child to be screamed at or to hear their mom and dad screaming. So you go to them and you say, I know that was scary for you, and I am so sorry. Please forgive me. Acknowledge that it was wrong, and say, next time I'm angry, because we all get angry, I'm going to do something different. Talk about an alternative. Say, I'm going to go on a walk, or I'm going to go in my room, or whatever. But you have to go to them and acknowledge, I know that was scary for you, because they're sitting there afraid. And then their brain's saying, well, am I wrong for being afraid? Right?
Well, they're going to come up with their own conclusions about what's going on if you don't tell them.
That's right. I know you were afraid, and I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, another thing that is just a big, 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 big major no-no is you don't ever criticize the other parent to your children.
That's huge.
I've had a lot of people said they were pulled into parent wars and what it did to them inside. Yeah. Especially in divorce times. Where one's just dogging the other one out, and your father's just a piece of crap, and your mother's a blah blah blah, and
I can't stand it when your daddy da 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 da.
But even if it ain't on that level, that's pretty volatile and intense. I don't remember a time where I would ever, or would I ever, or have I ever pulled them in a corner and pointed out your flaws.
It confuses them with their loyalty, because you're supposed to love both parents.
Supposed to love both of them. Yeah. And so there's number one, I think there's some character issues to that. If I've got to take my vulnerable kids away and point out your flaws, I don't know, unless you feel like you're trying to win something.
Yeah, and it diminishes, it breeds disrespect and diminishes respect for their parents.
And I think that goes to this right here. Every disagreement is to reach a solution, not to win. Yeah. So every time there's a disagreement, solution, compromise, something. But when it moves from disagreement to argument, then arguments tend to be who's going to win, who's going to get the last word, who's got the biggest dig, who said the most hurtful thing. And that should never, ever be done in front of the children. But being critical of the other parent, you want to teach the kid to be extremely loyal to both the parents. And that's a divisive mechanism, and it's really, it's unhealthy, because you're talking about the level of confusion. Yeah. So are you telling me this, Dad, so I don't love Mom as much? Or are you telling me this about Dad, so you don't want me to love Dad as much? So twisted. And their mind is not able to wade through the weeds of that and process what's really going on.
It's twisted.
So I would go even further, say probably don't need to be critical about other family members. You know, I mean, I know everybody kids about grandmama and kids about mother-in-law and this and that and other. And I tried to make sure if I ever made some type of comment, it was in jest. But to really try to take a shot at a relative whom you want them to love as well, it's just inappropriate. As they grow into adults,
Yeah, they can figure that out on their own.
They can figure it out on their own, and you can probably have what's called honest conversations.
Yeah, but they're kids.
When Uncle Johnny comes around, you know, this is probably going to happen, and we need to prepare for it. You know, you can have those conversations. When they're 4, 5, 6 years old, no, that does not need to take place. So I can't believe we already had 2/3 into our program. What's another one? I was just looking over some that they had.
I love this one. Trauma details. Do not share trauma details with your children. And they said this, they can't process what you haven't healed. There's no way a child can process what you as an adult still haven't healed.
You don't work through it with your child.
No. Jeez. You're going through a divorce, you're trying to deal with abuse, you're trying to deal with whatever, molestation. You cannot process trauma.
I think I would love to encourage here, and I'm guessing, I would love to encourage the single parent here. I think they would be most vulnerable to that.
Yeah.
We had a time where we were separated, but I've never been a single parent. And a lot of times, you know, somebody in something don't want to hear from you unless you've walked through it. I've not walked through that. Ministered to many who have and who are, but I've never walked through it myself. But I could see where the hurts that may have led to some type of singleness, be it divorce or whatever it may be, their child is the only other person in the house.
Yeah. Well, you need to get a counselor,
yes,
honey.
And they would want to share those things with them. And it's probably a personal need of the parent, but the kid in no way is ready to emotionally process a parent's pain.
Right.
They're just not. And so that needs to go to a parent, a friend, a sister, a brother, a counselor. It needs to go to somebody depending on what level the grievance and the pain is and trauma is. But you're right. Those are not discussions that you have with the children in the house. Some other things. We didn't let our kids see
money issues.
That's true. I was going to go bigger. I didn't bring as much as I could. Now, sometimes I get a phone call, but I remember even then, I'd go outside. And if I was out there an hour, I'd just go walk around. I wish you could take ministry at 5 o'clock and hit a switch and go home.
Like you can if you work at the bank.
Our life does not work that way. And I had calls this morning dealing with problems, and I had calls at 11 o'clock last night dealing with problems. I remember I tried my best not to bring company trouble into my kids and then me drag them through the mud and the muck.
Although they did see a lot of it.
Well, you can't hide it, but I know I made a conscious effort to do at least as much as I could. What I can control, let me say that. But what you can't control, and I will tell you this, whether it be work, whether it be ministry, or whatever your life's endeavor is, it affects your kids.
It does.
It affects your kids. Mm-hmm. And I know that the exposure and the size of ministry we had and the security they had to have. And one time Chandler literally got kidnapped, and, you know, I would preach something and death threats would come in. I'm going to tell you that affected our kids. And when somebody didn't like me and my son goes to school and they start making fun of his daddy, and then I get called to the school because he's in a fight. And then it's hard to discipline him because, son, what are you doing fighting? Daddy, they were making fun of you. Those were hard times.
It was.
Those were hard times because we had the kind of church people didn't understand. It grew to a size that was not normal in that area, and impact and influence. And then I was the kind of preacher that was kind of a Lone Ranger gunslinger type. And it just brought along, and you were different than any pastor's wife anybody'd ever seen, and it brought a lot of critique. you can take it, but the kids can't. And so I can't control all that. But when there were problems to deal with, I would try to at least get them out in the front yard and get them out of the living room. And I remember many times just like walking around my driveway on my phone, trying to handle it because I didn't want it to come in and disrupt them. I didn't want it because what's wrong, Daddy?
Yeah.
What's going on? And then all of a sudden, you got them trying to process adult problems. And you don't want them either, Hope, to think that serving God is full of drama.
Yeah.
Pastoring people is full of drama. But you don't want them to equate serving God as full of drama. And I was trying to be very conscious about that. Did I stop it all? Not even close. But I tried in as much as I could control. What's another one you think about?
I think we should talk about the financial stress. I mean, because every family has it. But I think that just creates undue stress on a child who's supposed to be living a childhood versus trying to manage money or ration the potato chips or don't eat too many cookies. They got to last us 2 weeks. You know, that's just undue stress on children.
Just for conversation's sake, I think that's possible until it brings about changes that affect them. Okay, let me hypothetically, you sending your kids to a private school that they love, and Dad got laid off, and he did get another job, but it pays half, and you got to sit down and have a family meeting. You know, we can't afford this school anymore. Okay, you got to have that discussion. My economy has directly affected this. And I think you need to do your best to explain it on a level because they love their friends, they love their school, and they've been going there 4 years, and that's all they know. And the economy is directly affecting them. If your economy doesn't have a direct effect on them, I wouldn't even mention it.
Right. We didn't.
No, and we went through all kind of ups and downs financially. And I never really had a discussion with it about my children that I know of off the top of my head. But, you know, there are times where somebody might say, well, that's all well and good, but, you know, I fell off my roof and this happened to my leg and I was out of work for 8 months and, I had to pull them out of school.
Yeah. I didn't know we were poor growing up.
Y'all weren't poor growing
yes,
up,
we
baby.
were.
I'm trying to tell you,
but I remember, my parents never talked about, we grew up in little bitty Calhoun Falls, working in a cotton mill.
But y'all did well for your area. And so, you know, while you might have been poor by American standards to your little town standards, you were at the top of the food chain.
I remember my mama used to say, I'd say, Mama, can we have so-and-so, so-and-so? And she'd go, Hope, I can't buy that right now, or we don't have the money. I'd say, well, Mama, just write a check.
Yep.
I just thought you could write a check.
Write checks. I remember when I tell people our poor stories, they don't believe you. People just don't believe you. They believe you're making it up because a lot of people do, especially politicians. You know, my mama, and they come find out they were raised with all kind of economic privilege, you know. But the fact is, you know, I took some of the guys here from staff to where I grew up and the house I lived in and the church my daddy pastored. And he could stand in the podium and hit the back wall with a watermelon seed, you know. It was that small.
Spit in the watermelon seed?
Yeah, and we did. You know, maybe put 60 people in there, packed out, maybe. And a little wooden church, you know. And then the house I went by there, they took somebody, I think it was abandoned. It looked like it was about to fall in. And I remember, I'll never forget it. My mama gets so mad. She gets so mad. So don't nobody tell her. She don't watch this, I don't think, but don't go tell her. I remember, Hope, I never had a Chick-fil-A sandwich till my mid-20s. Mid-20s.
Because they were too expensive.
We walked in the front door of the mall. It was called McAllister Square at that time. It don't exist anymore. And when you walk in, left diagonal, there was a Chick-fil-A. And I would always, because the bright red lights.
And you could smell it.
I want to go over there, yep. And Rich people eat there. Rich people. So, I never ate at Chick-fil-A. I thought that's where rich people ate, And I know people out there, sure you did. That is where we come from. But I don't remember my mom and dad talking about money. I just remember them telling me we can't afford that. I picked this shirt out. We can't afford. You remember the polos?
Yes.
I got saddlebred.
Oh my God.
You remember saddlebred? And you kind of hung your head because you knew you weren't a fake polo.
Where did you buy saddlebred? I can't
don't
remember.
know. I just remember I had like 3 colors of saddlebred. And so you kind of cover it up because you want everybody to think it's a polo.
No, you said one time your mama bought polo socks and cut the polo emblem out of your socks and put it on your shirt.
Was that me? I remember that story, but was that my mama that did that? I can't remember.
It was.
And you remember members only?
Yes.
I didn't have members only. I had the one that didn't have the name on it. It had the thing on the shoulders, but it didn't have the name written across it.
That's why you love a little name brand now, ain't it?
I do. Let me work through my childhood.
That's right. Bless his heart. Don't talk about him because he likes name brand.
But I don't remember
He's
financial.
become vulnerable to y'all today.
I remember being told we can't afford that. Okay. I remember going over to a friend's house to go swimming, and I thought that was.
You wanted a swimming pool.
I mean, I thought that. Here's heaven and here's a swimming pool.
Yeah, I think all kids did back in the day.
But I remember my dad would talk to me like, "Son, that's so far." You know what I'm talking about? Like we're so far away from that. So in my mind, rich people have swimming pools. I didn't know all you had to have was good credit. Just rich people have swimming pools. So in all that, they would make me aware of our economic status.
Yeah.
But I never heard arguing and discussing of financial issues in front of me. What does that bring?
But did that affect you, of them saying, no, we can't afford that. We're poor. Only rich people eat there.
Absolutely.
Even those statements.
I had hurdles to get over.
Because, I mean, yeah, everybody's at different areas financially and economically. But I believe our words can change.
That's one of the areas where I've had to change the most.
Yes.
Where I've had to empty my head.
We can speak life into our children.
And begin to read the Word of God and how the Word of God elevates your life. And God has seasons and levels, and He's a rewarder of those that diligently seek. He rewards, He blesses, He has favor. And all those things revolutionized my thinking in my mind.
And our giving did.
Yes, our seed sowing did. We became radical givers. And God took us to amazing places. But did I have to break some stuff off? Yeah. So, maybe some things that wasn't said financially also affected me.
Yeah.
That could have been said.
It's true.
Sometimes you just need to hear that your God is a great God.
Yes, and He is enough.
Your God is a great God, and your God's got your back. He's your provider, and your God's going to prosper you, and He's going to take care of you. And so... They got listed 10. I think we only talked about 3.
I don't remember how many we did.
The fact is, these are very important things. Like I said, a lot of our people, you're in the age group where you have or could soon have children.
Yeah, the bottom line is you have to be mindful that there are underdeveloped humans living in your house.
Emotionally and mentally.
Yes, emotionally and mentally. And you just can't spout out just any old thing, and you can't act any old way because you are affecting the lives of those children.
Man, they're watching everything.
They're watching. They absorb. They take in.
My kids,
they mimic.
I can sit down and talk with them, and they can tell me things I did that I wasn't a bit more thinking about was a moment
yes.
than anything.
You have to be so careful.
That they learned or they took from it, or they heard me say, or man, when you did this, I felt a certain way. And I wasn't even thinking about nothing. I was just going about my stuff.
You have to be mindful of it.
You do. And you have to use discretion and understand, no, you can't just say or feel any old way in their presence.
And no, it's not just your house, Mom and Dad. It's their house too.
It's their house too. So anyway, and keep it safe for them.
Yes.
There's a time and a place where these discussions are warranted, but not with children. Not with children. So anyway,
been
we've
good.
gone a little bit over time. I like this topic.
Yeah,
we
me
may
too.
do one more.
Okay.
We may do one more and just bring a few more of these principles in and talk about them. But anyway, go on there and comment section. Let us know how you feel. Maybe
share.
some things you want to add to it, or maybe you want to say, would y'all talk about this, or what do you think about having these discussions, or should your kids be exposed to this?
And if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
Yes.
And share this. There's a little share button. Share it to your Facebook. Share it to your friends. I want to tell you about the Inner Circle. I would love to have you come join my mentorship program. There is a little monthly fee, but I'm telling you, it is a life-changing. Ron, you joined us last month.
I did.
And you taught a little bit. We have guest speakers on there.
I'm not usually allowed in there, but I was allowed.
Yes, you are. And it's growing every day. Right now we're studying the fruit of the Spirit. It's challenging, but we are growing.
Everybody I've talked to that is in it said it's extremely rewarding.
It is. It's very
So you've
rewarding.
done a
One
great
day
job with
John G is going to join. I know he is. I know he is.
We're going to bring John G and sit him right in between us.
We should.
And let him bring wisdom.
He is
to
a
this
myth.
table. Yeah.
He is a myth. And one day we will reveal him.
He's the myth behind the camera.
Yes.
All right.
So go to hopesinnercircle.com today to join. Until next time, it's been Ron and Hope, Unfiltered, real, raw, relevant.
Blessings, guys. We'll see you soon.